Good morning, I'm Cy Corrigan, Director of Strategic Accounts for Pride Mobility Products. Today we're going to show the assembly of the back of two of our models, the LC-576 and the LC-525 lift chair. When you first remove the LC-576 or the LC-525 out of the box, it's best to set the back of the chair onto the base of the chair. You'll also notice a set of instructions are over here on the left-hand side of the back that's stapled in place. You will need the instructions as well as the parts that are inside of the bag. Once you have the base in place, it's best to raise the chair about 8 to 10 inches off the ground to make it easier to put the back onto the base. Once you have the base of the chair raised, you want to remove your bag with all the instructions in it. Inside the quick start guide, you'll have a quick start manual along with 5 bolts and an Allen wrench. You'll require these for the assembly of the back of the chair to the base. Prior to setting the back in place, you want to remove the pin which will house the motor base. To do so, just pull out on the cotter pin, that'll slide out, and then remove the pin. With the base raised about 8 to 12 inches off the ground and your back set on the base, the easiest way to assemble the back of the chair to the base is to roll the back of the chair towards the KD clips, which are located on either side of the chair. What you want to do is just roll those in place, making sure that they're engaged, and push all the way down to make sure that they're snug. To finish the assembly of the back to the base of the chair, once you have it in place, raise the chair up further to make it easier to work on. This will allow you an easier access to the KD clips on either side. Once you have your back in place, you want to make sure that it's down snug so that your pre-drilled holes are your center 2 holes on either side of the KD brackets. What you want to do at that point in time is, once it's down and snug, is start to twist your bolts in on either side. Then use the Allen wrench to make sure that they're tight. You'll repeat this process on the opposite side of the chair as well. Once you have the back tight and in place on either side, now it's time to run the motor down so that the motor mount interfaces with the motor bracket on the base of the chair. To do so, you'll notice that there's a wire coming from the motor. It's green coated and it has the letter A on it. What you want to do is plug this in to the junction box on the base of the chair as such. You'll also see on the opposite side another plug which is indicated with a yellow and a B on it, corresponding to the wire with the yellow B on it as well. That wire usually comes already assembled. In the event that it is disconnected, again, just plug it in so you'll have the yellow with the yellow and then the green with the green. Once you have the motor plugged in and in place, looking at the hand control, you'll be using the upper right hand button to lower the motor into place. Earlier we showed how you remove the pin from the bracket. You want to have the pin in your hand so as you run the motor down to the motor bracket, you'll be able to slide the pin back in to lock the motor into place. As your motor comes down with your pin in hand, what you want to do is jog the motor slightly to slide the pin into the base. Once your pin is in place through the motor mount and the motor bracket, you want to slide the cotter pin in to the opening, the hole on the base of the pin. Once you hear the click, your cotter pin now is in place and your motor is secure. 2 additional tips when assembling the motor on the back of the chair to the motor mount. Always ensure that your cord is to the front of the motor, never to behind the motor. Also, you'll notice that the motor, the larger side of the motor, is actually pointing towards the right as you look at the back of the chair. This is the correct position, as opposed to turning this around and going in the opposite way, which we also have a fail-safe bracket on the opposite side, which really allows the motor to only be assembled in the correct position. You'll also notice on the back of the chair a label discussing that the motor should always be pointed towards the right of the chair. With the back of the chair fully assembled, you want to take the outside back flap of the chair and lay that down to make a nice clean look. You'll notice there's Velcro strips on either side, as well as a full Velcro strip right across the back of the chair. You want to bring those down and they'll interface with the Velcro on either side of the back of the chair, as well as along the underside of the back rail to secure it in place.